We're going to open it up to questions, but before I do, want to literally blow your mind, okay? And as of right now, as of this very moment, I think I'm the only sales coach on planet Earth that is going to tell you what I'm about to tell you, and that is this. But first, let me ask you guys a question. What is empathy? Who wants to unmute themselves and tell me what you think empathy is? Some of you are Googling the definition of empathy right now, and that's fine too. Somebody tell me what empathy is.
Empathy. The ability to feel what other people are feeling.
Yeah, I like it. Who else? Somebody else was saying something on there.
Just the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It's not feeling sorry for them, but it's about understanding.
Exactly right. It's about understanding them. Empathy. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And I love, because obviously you've been in the eastonuniversity.com portal. I love that you said it's not sympathy. We're not feeling sorry for them. We're being empathetic. Why is empathy a valuable tool for us, for myself and for you and everybody that works in sales? Why is empathy a good thing for us?
I think it lets people know that we're listening to them.
Lets people know we're listening to them. I like it. What else?
It can help to provide insight on what they're really thinking.
Exactly right. It can help to provide insight on what they're thinking, especially if we're using our Easton University sales process, because we're not only being empathetic, but we're saying things like, when you say the fines that you're receiving from the federal government because your reports are not in line are costing you a ton, can you give me a specific example? Yeah, last quarter alone, we paid $76,500. Your ability to be empathetic combined with your Easton University ability to dig in and peel that onion back is helpful. Anyone else? Why is empathy, when does empathy help us in our sales process?
Is it like building rapport? I just went over your lessons yesterday about that, like genuine rapport.
Yeah, absolutely right. We're building genuine rapport. We're understanding and we're sharing in the feelings of another person, another organization, which, by the way, a lot of folks on this call right here, right now are in B2B sales. We can be empathetic as well. Emotions drive decisions just as much in B2B sales as they drive decision in B2C sales, right? People are worried about getting fired. People are worried about, is this the right decision? Is this decision going to make me look good, or is this decision going to make me look bad? Somebody else, give me another one. When can empathy help us in the sales process?
Across the entire spectrum.
Across the entire spectrum, except for one time. There's a time, and I think I'm the only person on planet Earth that is going to be saying this in sales coaches out there, okay? Y'all can start saying this now, but I was the first. There is one time when empathy does not serve us. There is one time when being empathetic, understanding the feelings of the person, the organization, the entity that we're working with, sharing in their feelings, does not serve them. It doesn't serve us, and it doesn't serve them, and it doesn't help or serve our deals. Does anyone want to take a guess when empathy, the one time that being empathetic, actually hurts us and our prospects?
When it's time to write the offer.
Give me a specific example of that, Russell.
We have a deadline, they like the house, they're on the fence, they really want it, but they're sort of staring out into space.
I like it. Anyone else? By the way, Russell is right there on top of, he gave a real estate example, but not everybody on the live coaching is in real estate. Anyone else want to codify what Russell is saying, and then I'll jump in and add to it, because this is critical. This is vital for us to understand. The one time that empathy doesn't help us and doesn't help our customers.
When it's time to close.
When it's time to close, and let me add to that. Also, when it's time to set a next step. When it's time to close and when it's time to set a next step, it doesn't serve you to be empathetic, okay? Let me explain, because some of you are like, well, wait a minute. I thought Easton University was all about not being pushy, not about being high pressure, not about being manipulative, not about trying to throw our deals. Come on, if you do this right now, I'll give you a discount. You know you want it. Those are all true statements, okay? But there's some careers where being empathetic helps, and there's some situations in particular careers where being empathetic does not help. Let me give you, and sales is one of them. The career that you're in is one of them. Let me give you some other careers where empathy can help you. It can be great, but there's also times when it doesn't serve you well. Okay? Healthcare, right? You go, a person, I don't want to say you, I don't want to like add any negative vibes to our Easton University Live. A person goes to their healthcare provider. They get a test done. Test comes back, not so great. Maybe they're right on the precipice of T1D, type 1 diabetes. Maybe it looks like there's a lymphoma. Maybe it looks like there's some sort of cancer or high cholesterol or a heart condition. Okay? Great! Super serving to be empathetic when you are the healthcare provider that has to deliver that news. Not serving at all for both you, the provider, and more importantly, the patient on the other end of that news when that patient, when they go, hey, we got to get you in for some tests. We got to get on this right now. Does it make sense for us to get you into the MRI machine today? Okay? Every person, not every person, but just about every single person that gets delivered news like that wants to go home, freak out, crawl into their closet, cry a little bit, call their family, freak out a little bit more, crawl back into the closet, sit in silence for 2 weeks and hope that negative diagnosis goes away. Those 2 weeks could be the difference between them getting ahead of this problem and saving their life and them going the other direction and not having a life. If you're empathetic in healthcare, great, serves you. You're awesome. You've got a great bedside manner. But damn it, when it comes time to get that person into surgery or into the MRI tube or into the next steps of the test to diagnose the cancer, lymphoma, heart condition, type 1 diabetes that they have, you have to put empathy on the table and say, I've got this. Does it make sense for us to do this? Oh, no, not right now. I understand what you're going through. What's a good next step? You have to take control. Let me give you some other careers. Firefighter, first responder, there's smoke in the house. They are trained to be unempathetic when they find a child in a bedroom cowering in the corner covered in smoke, because most people, and I know this sounds crazy, but most people when they are in an environment like that tend to do the exact same thing. I want to hide. I want to cower away. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to lock up. Firefighter needs to be unempathetic. Come on, kid, get on my shoulder. We're rolling. Let's rock. It's time to do this. They got to get that kid out of the house. Airline pilots, airline staff, when there is an emergency on that aircraft, okay, I realize there's a time to be empathetic. By the way, airline industry, if any of you are watching this, you could use a little bit more empathy, okay? Y'all are getting a 0 on the empathy. But there's a time and a place when 0 for empathy, when having any empathy, doesn't serve you or your passengers. For example, ding, severe turbulence, okay? I realize that you don't want to put your seatbelt on, and I realize that your kid loves the iPad, and you're one of those free-range parents that doesn't want to, influence your kid in any sort of way, and if they want to run around the aircraft back in the Matt Easton in the side of the head, that's great. It's time to put the seatbelt on, okay? There are certain careers where the best service that you can ever provide, right? We've talked about them a lot. Wherever you are, Sully, Sullenberger, we're going to go ahead and land on the Hudson. There's certain careers where you need to be calm, you need to be straightforward, and you need to deliver, because it's not serving your patient, the person you're responding to, your passenger, or your prospect, okay? We're in those situations. Our prospects, oftentimes we're given bad news. Their company just got fined by the federal government. If they don't move out of this neighborhood, they're going to hate it. Okay? If they don't get on your sales coaching, they're going to continue to make $75,000 a year and be maxed out on their credit cards. I get it. I totally understand, right? What's the next financial milestone that you want to achieve? I want to make $250,000 a year. Totally get it. All the empathy in the world. But there comes a time when you got to go, hey, Rob, it's Matt Easton, founder of Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to get you on the sales coaching so we can get you from that $75K to $250 so your credit cards aren't maxed out. Right? Some of the time we have to leave empathy aside. And here's the problem. And here's what no other sales coach in the rest of the world is talking about. We stay empathetic. We get all of this garbage, and it is garbage. Same way a kid cowering, and I understand that a child needs to do that. The same way, the same bad mental defect that we have as human beings that cause us to hide under the bed when the house is on fire are the same thing that your prospect is going through right now on these deals. A lot of you are hearing right now, oh, well, we're just going to table this till Q1. I get it. You guys are pretty busy right now. Oh my God, the market sucks, Russell. We don't want to list our house. It's 8% on mortgages. Oh my God, I get it. It's so terrible. Try selling in this market. Right? You have to, there's a time and a place to be empathetic. But just as Russell said, and others supported Russell, the close and setting a next step is not one of those times. That's why you guys, that's why the people on Easton University, that's why all of us on these calls get paid very good incomes. Because it is our job to remain cool, calm, and collected and land the damn plane. Okay? So I want you to slow the process down in the beginning, but when it comes time to close these deals and they start putting emotions on you, which is when they are going to be the most emotional, I don't want you to sit down next to them, next to that bed with smoke over your head. And oh, I got it too. It's hot in here. If we don't get out of here soon, it's pretty bad. Come on, get on my back. Based on what you're telling me. You guys cannot afford to have another application be sent over to your in-house development team, which they are overworked as it is. They're delivering. And with this particular reporting module, if you don't get the app up and running, you're looking at another $74,000 slap on the wrist from the federal government. I understand that you need to want to table this till Q1. I have a feeling that spending another $74,000 between now and January is not the right thing for the company. Okay, I will do everything to get this app set up, to get it installed, to get you guys up and running. I understand that you guys, that it's not a good time. Let me just level set with you. With the clients that I work with and the monster problems that we solve, it's never a good time. But we got to do this. Does it make sense for us to get you on the calendar right now, get the contract signed today, so I can start the install this week? Right? No. What's a good next step? Well, I don't know. I don't know either. That's why we had talked about it when we monetized this. One other fee is $74,000. Does it make sense to get this going this week? Well, I guess so. There's nothing forceful about that. You can be firm without being forceful. Okay? There's a huge difference to being totally empathetic and being firm. If you don't believe me, I want you to take a field trip to the children's hospital in your area and go sit by the reception desk. They are an excellent example of both being empathetic, but when it comes time to take action, the empathy goes out the window. Come on, little buddy, grab your wagon, give mom and dad a hug, right? It's serious. These people may never see their kid again, but they know, those professionals at Children's Hospital knows there's a time to lose the empathy because we got to get that kid into the OR like 10 minutes ago. And if we all sit around and cry and hug mom and dad, I'm going to have an emotional child that's going to be late for surgery and bad things are going to happen. You guys need to take that same level of detail and that same level of commitment and that same firmness when it comes time to saving your customers from themselves, saving your customers from their situations, okay? Realize, uncouple the empathy when it comes time to close or set a next step, okay? Does this make sense? Who has questions on this or anything else? If you work in sales and you need to make twice as much money as you do right now to really enjoy your life, you've really only got 3 options. Option number 1, you can continue to work your butt off in the job you have right now, hoping for some sort of miracle to happen, where you start taking home double the money while doing things the exact same way you do them right now. That's pretty unlikely. Or option number 2, you could look for another job at a totally different company, hoping you're gonna catch some sort of once-in-a-lifetime wave where sales just seem to flow your way. All right, again, highly unlikely, and we both know waves in sales, well, they don't last very long. Or option number 3, you can click the button here and get instant access to a simple, straightforward sales process that will help you take home twice as much money as you do right now while putting in far less effort than you do today. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University, the most effective sales coaching system in the world. If you click the button, you're gonna see how our interactive sales coaching portal and weekly live coaching sessions with me will help you double your income within 60 days. Easton University is more than an interactive sales coaching portal. It's more than being able to ask me questions in a live setting every single week. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Click the button. I will see you on the other side. Your life is about to get a lot better. Click through now.